Okay, hello and welcome to Game Trade Media. My name is Leona. I'm one of the editors here at Game Trade Media, and today I am super excited to showcase Overlord with you from Brotherwise Games. So today with me I have Chris from Brotherwise and also Gretchen from Painting Happy Little Minis. We are going to play through Overlord. So we actually have the publisher here with us. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about Brotherwise Games and just a brief overview of Overlord?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Brotherwise Games is probably most known for the game that got us started, which was Boss Monster. That was back in, 2012, although it feels like the last century. But we've since gone on and published Unearth and Call to Adventure. We're sort of a boutique shop. You know, we try to do just a couple games a year, but we really put our all into those games. Awesome. This one, Overlord, was brought to us by a couple designers we had been following for a while, Kevin Russ and Aaron Mesburne, who you guys may or may not know Calico, which was sort of making the rounds a couple of years ago in conventions, and Kickstarter had a successful Kickstarter. I begged them to let me publish it, but they had other plans, which is fine. But we really loved it, and when they brought to us another game called Solarium, which was a plant placement game, we jumped on it immediately. But right then, a whole bunch of plant-themed games like Succulent and those were coming out, and we thought, well, you know, maybe this game would shine better with a different theme. We wrestled with some different ideas, but eventually came back to Boss Monster because players have been asking us to expand this world for a while. And even though Boss Monster has a series of expansions within that first game, this one's a totally different experience. It's set in the Boss Monster world, but now instead of being the boss trying to rule over your own dungeon, you've emerged into the overworld. And you're trying to make the most powerful, most villainous map that you can using these terrain tiles and then stocking those tiles with tokens. And that's the game we're going to be playing today. We're actually going to be playing the basic version of it. There's a number of ways to sort of step up the complexity. But the goal here was to create a game that had sort of the accessibility of a Sushi Go or a King Domino, with the sort of look and feel of the Boss Monster world. So you'll notice all of the art, including those player boards, is pixelated. There's sort of a overworld look to this from your favorite games of your retro gaming past. And I think we've been pretty successful. So you'll find that it's very easy to play, but also that it requires a fair bit of thought in terms of maximizing your points and figuring out the best way you want to go. And at the end, I can talk a little bit about how there's these additional components that ship with the base game that increase the complexity if that's what you're looking for as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I am very excited to play this game. We tested it a little bit yesterday, and so let's just dive into it with our tabletop simulator. We're all ready to be our overlords here.
Who will be the most overlord?
So as I said, game's pretty simple. There's a central market that we're all drafting from. You are pulling a terrain tile and a token each turn. And Leona, I'll sort of describe the ones that we have out here quickly.
Okay.
On the outsides of this, we see our camps. So orc camps are populated by little orc monsters. We don't have any orcs out right now, but every terrain tile has a matching monster that goes with it. And you'll notice if you look at a terrain tile, it's got its class icon on the bottom left, and then its scoring indicator on the bottom right. And for camps, they're scored based on the number of camps you have on your board, but you only count the unique camps. And you can tell that each tile is got unique art, and with orcs, they're separated by those colored flags in the upper right-hand corner. Now that's sort of related to, but in opposition to the forest. We have two forests there in the middle, and the forest are also scored based on the number you have on your board, but they don't care if you have one forest type or another. You're gonna, at the end of the game, look at your total number of forests. If you have one forest tile on your board, that's 1 point total from forests. If you have 2, it's what is that? 3 points
3.
total, and so on and so on. Up to 5 or more forests on your board gives you 15 points total there. Now,
Nice.
there's 5 terrain types used in every game, plus dungeon entrances. We'll talk about them as they come up. But if you look below each of these tiles, when you grab one of these pairs, you're getting the tile and the monster that comes with it. So underneath this orc camp on my left is a skeleton. Skeletons go with graveyards. Next to that is a witch underneath that first forest. Witches prefer to be put in swamps. Underneath that forest to the right there is a kobold, and that is that tile's matching monster. And at the end of the game, when we're totaling up our score from our tiles and our tokens are going to contribute points in a couple ways. One is if a token is on top of its preferred terrain type, that's called a matching monster. And the only example of a matching set we have here is that kobold in that forest. That immediately makes that kobold worth 1 point to you.
Cool.
The other way you can score tokens is by putting them in bands. Bands are just horizontal or vertical lines of the same monster type, uninterrupted. A band of 2 tokens is worth 2 points. A band of 3 tokens is worth 5 points, and a band of 4 tokens is worth 7 points. And you can count the same token for a vertical band and a horizontal band. It can sort of serve as the corner of that band for both of those. So again, it's essentially very simple. 2 actions a turn. You're going to draft a pair, a tile and a token. You're going to place them, and then we're going to refresh that market for the next person to come out. And one rule that you'll see us struggling with a little bit here in terms of providing some constraints on play is if we have an open tile, so a tile that does not have a monster token on top of it, we'll have to place a monster that we have if we have one on it. And that can make getting those bands together a little bit more challenging at the end. So why don't we get started? As new tiles and tokens come up, I'll explain them.
Yeah.
But let's see. Who wants to go first?
Gretchen, why don't you go first?
Gretchen, go first.
All right. I don't have my graveyards like last time.
No, you were the Lord of the Undead.
I was. All right. I think I'm going to go with the forest this time.
Yeah, that's a really good pairing.
So she's going to grab the forest, and she can put it anywhere in her map. Her map is the grid of 4 by 3 of these. There's some of the advanced tiles are impacted by their arrangement on the board being next to each other. At the moment, none of these are. So we've got a new tile out. This is a graveyard, and graveyards have 2 different types of scores. One is their base score, which is that number in the white circle, and that ranges from 1 to 3. So some graveyards are more powerful than others. But then the other aspect of graveyards is they're a sort of winner-takes-all tile. So whoever has the most graveyards is going to get a certain number of points at the end of the game. Whoever has the second most graveyards is going to get a different type. We're going to be playing with the winner getting 5 points today and the runner-up getting 2 points.
Cool.
That's for having the most that you can out there. Yeah, that one's misprinted. That should be 5 and 2.
That's okay.
And it does happen to have a matching skeleton underneath it.
I think, should it be my turn?
It is your turn.
All right, then I'm actually going to take this set here.
Grabbing the camp. And even though that's not a matching monster, it has to go on top of that guy because Dim's the rules.
Yeah.
All right, so another graveyard comes out. This one happens to have the correct scoring on it. But I'm going to go ahead and grab this guy because just like you guys, I'm digging those matching monsters. I'm going to put it right here, and I'll put that skeleton on it. So immediately, I get a point for that matching monster, as Gretchen does. I'm taking the lead on skeletons. Leona has the lead on camps. Looking good. All right, we've got now that little dragon guy on the bottom right there. That's the matching monster for caves. We haven't seen any caves come out yet, but they will show up.
Oh, our friend in the chat says the stakes are getting grave.
I'm gonna let that one go. But
That's who I think it is making puns.
Second
Yes.
bad pun and you're out of here.
Yes. All right,
I know
Gretchen.
you by your puns now. All right, does that mean it's my turn again?
Yes.
All right, circle back around. I'm going to go for the graveyard because I don't want to be left out of having graveyards.
Staying in the graveyard race, always good.
Grab that dragon there.
Man,
so for me, this is looking kind of nice because
I have all these camps. Yeah.
I have all these camps here, which I don't have to put next to each other.
You don't. You can put them wherever you want.
So I'm going to put one down here.
For playing with the basic tile set, placement mainly. Oh man, look at this baloney. Mainly revolves around trying to get your dungeons situated. Dungeons are scored based on the number of unique tile types around them. So everybody here is probably thinking a little bit about that, even though we don't have any dungeons out yet. Now, I'm going to be mean. I'm going to take the one of these that there aren't two of those out there. Yeah, and keep you from grabbing that, Leona. That was some cheesy hate drafting. But what do you Okay, we've got a new tile type out and a new token type. So let's show off that swamp. Swamps are worth 1 base point just for being swampy. And they get an additional point if they're next to a watery edge of the map. So you can see how the edge of the map has kind of some bluer watery parts and some stony mountainous parts. Caves benefit from being next to the stony parts, the mountains, and swamps benefit from being next to the water. Swamps also benefit from being next to other swamps. So that is one of the tile types that benefits from being next to itself. And gosh, look at that. Gretchen is getting some lucky draws here, I have to confirm. So that's a crystal. And the crystal actually benefits from the number of tiles of its type that you have on the board. And this crystal happens to be the swamp crystal. So if Gretchen were to draft that, she'd get the point from the swamp right off the bat. She'd also be getting points for every swamp she collected from then on out. Now that's not necessarily what she wants, but that's one way to monopolize the swamps.
It's my Cajun ancestry coming
There you go. There you go. Oh yeah. Well, no, what did that guy say on the old Cajun Chef? I can't remember. He was awesome. I would watch him all the time. I'm probably too old. I'm too old for you guys. You would not have seen him, but he was awesome.
I think Gretchen might go for this.
I think I'm going to go for it. Yeah.
It's a really good combo.
Delicious.
I'm going to put it next to the water here. So if I get other swamps, I can try to put it next to the water there. And then I put my little crystal.
Yeah, so your crystals are down there in your lair. Your lair is like a holding area for any tokens that you either can't place immediately or that you get portals or crystals like that. So we've got another swamp has come out and a new token type. This is called a mini boss. And mini bosses are just immediately worth 2 points, and they don't contribute to bans. So you get that extra bonus of points right away, but they can disrupt your attempt to create bands of monsters.
I think I'll still go with the camp.
Probably
over here.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Place.
Okay.
Building up lots of camps here.
And the witches are taking over the forest on the market there. I'm going to go ahead and now this camp isn't really worth anything to you because you've already got a yellow flag or camp out there.
Right.
But I'm going to grab it because it lets me show off. One, I can get another camp into my, so that's worth just 3 points right away from me. Takes me from 1 to 4. And I create the first band of the game. So right now I've got those 2 skeletons in a row, and they're just, since they're in a row, they're a pair of band. A band of 2 is worth 2 points. And if I can get another skeleton down here, then that band would jump up to 5 points.
Very nice.
So I could take another swamp and get the points for swamp, or I could grab one of the forests and have a witch to put in my swamp.
You definitely could.
I think I'm going to go with the forest just because I feel like I'll get another chance for a swamp, but I
Sounds
won't
good.
always get another chance to have the right tokens match up.
Yeah, and what you're, so what you're showing off here is there's multiple paths to victory, and you might get a certain number of points out of putting those two swamps together, but if you can get 5 forests, that's 15 points. It's it's pretty massive. So not to be scoffed at.
Finally, a cave.
A cave. There's a couple caves out actually.
Oh, I just realized that.
And boy, the witches are coming hot and heavy. And I have no need for witches at the moment. What are you thinking, Leona? What are you going to do?
Oh, you're right. It is my turn. I want to do the swamp.
Swampies.
Yeah.
You're going to take my swamp?
All right. So
get out of my swamp, Leona.
Now, Leona, on placement sort of strategy there, that's cool because it's next to water. But it means that if you put another swamp just north of it, that swamp would not be next to water. So just to point out, it might be better there. But if you have a plan, then by all means, leave it where you had it.
Well, I don't really have a plan, so I'm gonna pretend
there is no
wing
plan.
it.
I'm gonna place it here, actually.
Some boss monsters just like to wing it. Okay. So, oh, look at that! I'm absolutely stealing this guy from you, without a doubt.
Oh,
you monster! All right, I'll kind of dig in my just extreme lineup of camps here. It looks very cool. Okay, so there's a dungeon. So dungeon entrances or we call them dungeons, are unique amongst tile sets in that you are not allowed to put a token on top of the dungeon entrance. So if Gretchen were to draft that guy, she would have to put that token onto her open forest instead. If you don't have an open terrain tile at that time, you put it down in your lair and wait till you do. Now, dungeons are great in the sense that they're worth 1 base point, and then every bordering unique tile type is worth an additional base point to them. So they can get up to 5 points all by themselves, which is one of the highest values for a terrain tile. But they have that constraint of breaking up your bands.
I think I'm going to go for the bands, though, because there's another witch there.
Do it.
There's another forest.
And a forest. Love it.
I could try to get those 5 with the forest, and I could try to get those bands with the witch.
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to go for it. It's going to happen.
That is a very good move.
In my swampy, witchy forest with my tiny dragon hoarding graveyard.
I like it.
Oh, okay. So it's my turn.
Oh, I wish it wasn't. I wish it was my turn. Damn it.
What are you going to do?
Nothing.
I'll
nothing,
do it. I will grab that. I'm gonna take this dungeon.
Yeah, that's a good move.
And then I have to put this. That's not where I'm putting it. I just want to move this guy. Here we go.
Yep. So now you have a little flexibility. Actually, when you draft a tile in the future with a monster token, you can decide whether you want to place that token you just drafted or the one you keep in reserve here. So that's the other bonus to dungeon tiles. Yes, they break up your bands right where they are, but they also give you some flexibility. Oh, yeah. Okay, even better, right? I think. I'm taking this guy. And I do not have any open tiles, so this skeleton's going to hang out in the lair for a while. Put him right there on the guarding the lair's entrance.
Where skeletons should.
The game really wants us to draft caves.
Yeah. We've all been avoiding it. Really. All right, Gretchen.
What do you got, Gretchen?
All right, I'm gonna actually go for the graveyard.
Taking the lead on graveyards. Yeah, I guess in retrospect, I should have done that. That was maybe dumb, but.
And then I get the other band because this one.
And you get a band. Yeah.
Also had a dragon. So I have my graveyard dragon, and my plan to have a corner swamp.
Wow.
Is,
and a magic pencil just showed up somehow.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I don't know what that's about. But
what is that?
The goal is to have a swamp here, and I it's not in my favor.
I think so all of the tile sets have the exact same number of tiles. There's 12 of each in there. So it will come up. It's just a question of whether one of us will be mean to you, which I plan on. So.
On a corner swamp. It's the perfect place for my swamp.
My swamp.
Get
in my swamp.
Oh, I'm gonna place this cave here.
Nice.
And then I will be able to put that there. And now I have a band of witches.
Band of witches. That sounds kind of cool. All right. A portal. Okay. So portals are like crystals, one of the tokens that's not allowed to go on a tile. It goes right into your lair. And at any point during your turn, you can flip a portal over to change the positions of 1 or 2 tiles. And the rules for changing the tokens, changing the position of those tokens is pretty liberal. You can have them swap places, or you can move one and then move another into a different spot. So you can do all kinds of stuff with them. And I feel like I should do something there.
With the portal?
Well, I'm going to grab this guy just to keep Gretchen honest. And I'm going to put the portal down here. I'm not going to do anything with the portal. I'm actually just going to take my... now, I'm not allowed to end a turn with a monster in my lair and an open terrain tile. But in this case, great. I've now got a band of 3 tokens on here.
Wow.
And you know what? That's okay, because that's another forest. And I can try to get my 5 forests to get all the points.
You're running the table on forest, to be sure.
I'm going to have the best forest. It's filled with swamp witches. Swamp witches, and what's this guy here? Oh, that just spins it around. What is it? Oh, that flips it. Hold on.
Who's drawn on my game?
Me, sorry.
I'm kidding. Tabletop Simulator it just does so much cool stuff that I really don't know how to use it entirely yet. I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's a very powerful program.
The one thing I love, if we just look at Gretchen's board over here, is the way the tiles sort of fit together. And you've got this beautiful top-down map. You can sort of imagine the heroes trying to plow through here, but getting beaten up by the monsters. It's a lot of fun. That retro vibe is kind of our thing.
The mega forest round. They end up in the swamp, and then once they make it through the swamp, graveyard dragons.
Undead dragons.
And I think it's a good it's just gonna come out of nowhere, and our hero will be very impressed.
Awesome.
That is terrifying.
As an overlord, I think graveyard dragons is the way to go. Horde of bones.
I've kind of just been doing whatever, and I feel like that hasn't been such a smart time.
Now you're gonna get crafty.
Yeah, maybe. So can I use a dungeon tile next to a dungeon tile?
You can. I'm blanking on whether they count each other as unique, but we'll say they do.
That's what I was wondering.
Man, we need that. If Aaron or Kevin, if you're watching this, we need an FAQ on that. I am completely misremembering what dungeons do, but we're gonna call it a unique type just for fun. What happened to your token? That was weird.
It just went through the...
God. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Alrighty. Oh man, Gretchen, I am sorry, but I'm doing it.
Take my forest?
I'm totally taking your forest. On the other hand, well, then you'll just take the graveyard.
You could get ahead with graveyard here.
I still get a forest tile to put in my forest that doesn't have a tile.
The thing is, to her, oh boy, I don't know what to do here. That forest is worth 5 points to her.
Oh wow, yeah.
All right, I'm not doing it. I'm doing it.
It is a 2. Okay, yeah, it is a 2 graveyard.
It just feels like I think I'm doing this wrong, to be honest, but we'll see. I made the right call. It wouldn't have mattered.
That's true, yeah. And they're a forest. I didn't realize these forest pieces are great for you, Gretchen, because you get an automatic forest monster.
You get a little dude. Little kobold.
And look, you can save. Here she has another band.
It's like a great contiguous forest. Yeah, he doesn't have to go in the tile you just placed. You are more than welcome to pop him down on that other one. It's totally up to you.
Lovely.
Sweet. All right. Well, I'm happy then. All right. Someone's going crazy with the pencil.
Yep. Sorry about that. My thing is just a little finicky right now. And it is my turn. So
there's going to be a lot of swamps happening in the near future.
Oh, so that is the camps tile. Sorry, the camps token, crystal token, Leona.
Okay.
And it's, I don't know if the graveyard does you a lot of good. You could tie with Gretchen for second most, or suddenly you draw a bunch of them. But that little token is immediately worth 3 points to you because you have 3 camps out.
Oh, that's not bad. And this graveyard tile is 2 points.
It's a 2-pointer. Not bad. Yeah, pretty decent draw.
And I can make a unique
there you go.
Play over here. So this goes here. Right there. Nice. That will be my turn.
Zoopity doop.
Trying to get unique tiles around these dungeons.
All right, I feel zero compulsion to get that forest now. The joy of feeling it is gone.
Now that I have 5 forests.
It is. I don't feel it. It's like, why bother? So I'm going to actually put this little cave here. He's now next to mountains, which are the mountains surround my lair. So he's immediately worth 3 points. And I'll get another little band going. Because this token skeleton can play double duty in this 3 skeleton band and this 2 skeleton band, which is not a 1-man band.
Not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna flip more camp tiles or whatever.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 more camp tiles in here, and we've got, but that's out of 40 tiles that are still in the bag.
Oh, that's sad. Okay.
Sad.
All right, Gretchen.
I'm gonna get my swamp.
No.
Swamp. Oh, I forgot about the swamp. Yeah, so the more players are in the game, the more attention you have to pay to what's going on. And Leona and I are over here fighting over camp.
It's another little forest friend, I think, but that's okay. Maybe I'll get lucky and get a portal.
You have an open forest there.
Oh, I do have an open one. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
You can't tell all the time. I want this guy to go here, though. So I want that portal.
Right, the portal. Right.
I want the portal.
Well, yeah, you can be in the running for. Oh, that's a 3-point graveyard.
Yeah.
You can be in the running for the graveyards. Oh, and you would love that portal, Leona.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
You're all about it.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm gonna put my graveyard guy here.
Okay. And
portal down here. My tiles are getting a little.
And then you can immediately do the portal thing if you want, which means so let's see here. You would have to, oh gosh, interesting.
So, oh wait, no. I know what I want to do. Okay. I don't flip this guy yet. I can still put these guys on an empty space, right?
You can. You certainly can.
So if I put one here.
Well, so you would place 1 token per turn. So you can put one of them out.
Oh, I want to do like 2 switches. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think it's all cool. So you can switch from the lair. You could, I'm probably misremembering this, but if you flip your portal, you could move the mini boss up here over to the graveyard and move the witch up to there.
Oh, and then place
and do your last placement of one of the orcs.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Then yeah, go for it.
All right. So this is going here. This is going. Oh, but then I don't have my band.
But you will. Oh, sorry, I didn't even see that one to the right. Good point.
The strategizing in this game.
Yeah. But you would get the matching monster of it, and you'd create a band.
Yeah, that's still better. Okay, that's my turn.
Yeah, and then I think you've actually got to put that other dude Up there.
Down here?
I think you're required to, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wow, yeah. So you're doing well on the tokens, for sure. Good move.
Thank you. Well, thank you for helping me figure that out.
Token placement thing, Aaron and Kevin are better at that than I am. I'm good with tiles.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Oh, we had someone asking what we're playing. We are playing Overlord, a boss monster game by Brotherwise Games.
Yeah, so we just kickstarted this, and it's up on Backer Kit right now, as well for late pledges.
Nice.
But lots of fun stuff, and we'll show off the rest of the fun stuff at the end. But I am going to do...
And someone had asked if we're playing on Tabletop Simulator, and yes, that is correct. We are currently playing in TTS. But the actual game is physical tiles and stuff.
Physical. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just took the that other cave. Again, it's next to mountains, so it's doing well there. And that let me, I'm doing like mega bands.
I was going to say, whoa.
I have a literal skeleton horde.
Battle of the Bands. Oh, man.
I like it.
Your Overlord is the army of the undead.
Yep.
All right, Gretchen.
So I could add more forest, but I think I'm going to have another dragon.
Yeah, and additional forest won't give you any more points, by the way.
Yeah, I think I've tapped it all out, so I'm going to put that there.
Nice. Oh, and then you get
another band.
More dragons.
Oh.
I can see everyone's stepped up their game since yesterday. That's pretty obvious.
Did have a question from the chat. Can you get the Tabletop Simulator version with the game?
That's a great question, and I don't have a good answer for it, but we'll take a look at it.
It might be something that you end up providing for people.
We have Boss Monster and Unearth up for purchase on Tabletop Simulator.
Awesome.
So we might have this up as like a promo for a while, but I'll talk with the guys at Berserk.
Yeah.
And see what we can do.
That would be great.
Whose turn is it?
My turn, I believe. Woo! And this is another gem. Is that a dungeon gem?
That is actually a caves gem. So you only have one cave.
Not helpful. Oh, but I know what I can do.
All right.
I'm going to place this.
I needed the swamp.
And then I will have a swamp band now.
Nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm taking that.
This guy, the graveyard.
Yeah, it's a 3-point skeleton-y thing, and I'll get the band.
Wow.
So why wouldn't I?
Preventing any of us from being the...
And then, there's no way I can...
it does. I mean, at best you could tie me somehow, but I'm very much... Oh, well, okay, there I spoke. Don't know about the randomizers in Tabletop Simulator's bags. Maybe they're great. Maybe they're not. I'm going to randomize more.
Super random.
I'm going to take this so that I can get second place.
Yeah, pulling ahead.
And then I have a little foresty bit there, but unless I get some kind of...
It makes you a band of 3. That's great.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right. I predict camp. Here comes the camp. Nope. That's a... Oh, and a mini boss. All right.
A mini boss. That's not bad for me.
Yeah.
I could have saved. Let's see. Actually, I'm just going to do this. Because do I still get points for the swamp being near water?
Yeah, you'll get 1 base point and 1 for it being next to water. What you won't get is the bonus they get for being next to another swamp. But that's
okay.
Hey! Oh, but it's useless to me.
Ha-ha! Yes.
Well, that's sort of lame. All right.
This is great.
I'm going to... It feels so measly to get a single forest. It's worth almost nothing.
But maybe next round.
It does have the band. Okay, just to min-max a little bit here, that would be worth 1, 2, 3, 4 points to me to do that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're both worth the exact same. So let's just take... Oh gosh, control issues. Let's just take this guy. And at least I...
Oh, but if you put him... Okay, well...
Now, as you can see here, remember how we talked about how the dungeons are powerful, but they disrupt your bands? And in fact, you can see here, man, look at all the points I would be scoring if I was able to put this guy here.
Well, if you put him here, wouldn't you still get points up and across?
Oh, God, yeah, you're right. Okay. Thank you. Good call.
Dang it.
Good call.
I said that for the audience.
I like the way you say it.
I didn't want to say it, but I did.
But I did leave that tasty blue orc camp for you. And that is
that is very nice.
That's a 7-point shift for you. Gretchen, hint, hint, that's a 7-point shift.
I know. And it has the portal, which I'm gonna have to say sorry, Leona.
No.
But it has the portal, which if I take the portal for my final turn, I can shift this here.
Well, you can make those dragons into a band of 3, actually, which is worth 5 points instead of each of those being 2.
Ooh,
but you're getting the matching monster from the swamp. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Oof. Now I can't swap it out of anything. I leave that one blank. Do I just get to move one of them?
You move one other one. You could move that little orc guy down if you wanted over there on your left.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You guys have mastered this game entirely. I think it's rather rude. I'll just say that.
And there we go. I have swapped everyone. Almost everyone's in the environment they should be. We have a rogue forest something in the graveyard, but that's
a little kobold in the forest. I mean, in the graveyard.
I mean, the dragons have taken over the graveyard anyway. So,
all right. I am going to take this forest because then I get to have a camp band right
nice
here.
Band of orcs.
Woohoo! Oh yeah, orc band. Excuse me.
And there's probably some obvious move here I'm not seeing. I guess I could get I think I'm just going to get that crystal and call it a day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, Leona, do you want to try to do the score on the side? I'll sort of count it out as I add them up.
Yeah.
And so people can sort of see how this works. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add up our tile scores first, and then we'll get into our token scores. And so I'll run through each of the tiles and talk a little bit about how they're scored. So let's start with forest. Okay. I have 2 forests for... that is going to give me just 3 points total. Gretchen, as we talked about before, made like the dark forest over here, giant forest, and hers, all 5 of those gives her 15 points.
Whoa!
Pretty huge.
Whoa!
And then, Leona is coming in at 1 point on forest.
Woohoo!
Let's go to camps. Those are the sort of beigeish ones with the flags. I have 3 unique camps for 9 points. That one ramps up on a 1 point, 4 point, 9 point, 16 points if you have 4 or more. So I'll get 9. Gretchen just hate drafted that last one for just 1 point, but I like the way she plays.
Crying.
And Leona, you get 9 points just like I do. All right, graveyards. So graveyards, we're going to add up the points in the white circles, and I actually come in at 4, 5, 6, 7
Whoa,
there.
That's awesome.
Gretchen comes in at 2, 5, and Leona comes in at 5 as well.
Nice.
Now, unfortunately, Leona, you did get edged out of the race on the graveyards. I get a bonus 5 points for having the most graveyards, and Gretchen gets a bonus 2 points for having the second most graveyards.
So you get a bonus 5 points?
I did. I get
Gretchen
5 bonus points.
2 points.
These are printed wrong on my tiles over here.
Cool.
Okay, so on to swamps. I have a giant 0 on swamps. Gretchen has 2 swamps. They're both next to water, and they're both next to another swamp, meaning they're each worth 3. So she's going to get 6 points on swamps.
Woo!
And you have 2. They're both next to water, but they're not next to each other, so you get 4 points on swamps.
All right, I'll take it.
Last terrain type we're going to look at is caves. And for caves, I have 2, and they're both next to mountains. That means they're 1 base point each plus 2 points for being next to a mountain, or 6 points total. Gretchen pulls in 3 from her cave, and Leona, you pull in 6 from your caves.
Cool.
The last tile type we're going to look at, it's not really considered a terrain type, but it is a tile type, is a dungeon. I have 1 dungeon worth 1 base point and surrounded by 4 different unique tile types. I've got a camp to the north, a forest to my east, a cave to the south, and a graveyard to the west. That's +4 because he gets 1 point for each of those. So I get 5 from my 1 dungeon.
Okay.
Gretchen has no dungeons.
No.
And Leona has 2, and I think I'm doing it wrong, but we're going to count those dungeons as counting for the unique tile types. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I see 9 points. Does that sound right, Leona?
Yeah, if we're going to count that dungeon as a unique.
Of course we are. Okay.
Yay!
So if I add them up, I get 10, 20. I get 26 points from tiles for Leona. I get 24, 29, 31. Oh, God. I get 40 points for Gretchen.
Whoa!
That's going to be tough to beat.
Oh,
And I get 12.
I brought the strategy. I soaked it up
4.
yesterday during the learning.
Yeah, I get 35 from me. Okay, so if we just looked at tiles, this would be Gretchen's game, but we're not just looking at tiles. Let's look at matching monsters next.
But Gretchen has so many matching monsters.
Yeah, this would be pretty ugly. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3. I've only got 3. There's skeletons I put on graveyards. I've got 3 matching monsters for 1 point each. Gretchen, what do you have?
What do I have for how many matching?
Just matching monsters.
All right, so I have I have the forest monsters.
Yep, the kobolds are going to give you 3.
Yep, there's 3, and then I have the swamp witches.
Or 5.
And then I have the dragons.
God, I didn't even see that guy. 6, and then 7 is that dragon on that cave.
Yes.
I think we got murdered, Leona. But
Woohoo!
Leona, what do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3.
You have 3. Okay. Now we're going to look at
okay.
three's good. I mean, you went for another route. Okay.
I tied
Team to win.
Let's look at crystals next. I have 1 crystal. It's the cave crystal. I have 2 caves, so 2 points.
Nice.
Gretchen, do you have any crystals? Oh,
I do have a crystal. I have this crystal. Which crystal is this?
That's the swamp.
That's the swamp crystal, and I have 2 swamps.
2 swamps. And Leona?
I have the camps crystal, so 3.
3 camps. Okay.
Points.
And
I'm still sad I didn't get that 4th camp.
that was so mean. Mini bosses. I have no mini bosses. Gretchen has. I thought I saw one, but I guess I
don't think I have any mini
I
bosses.
have 2.
Oh, that's where it went. Leona has 2. Okay, 4 points of mini bosses. Now, lastly, we're going to do bands, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky.
Okay.
So essentially, here I've got 2 bands of 3 skeletons. One coming from here down to this guy, and another one going from this guy over here. That's 5 points each, or 10 points. I then get to count this little band of 2 right here. That takes me up to 12. And I can count this one here to 14 and this one here to 16. So, in fact,
Woo!
I cleaned up on bands.
Wow.
Let's look at Gretchen. Gretchen has a 3-pointer, a 3-bander right here. So that's 5. And then a 2 is 6, 7. The 2 over here is 8, 9. The 2 here is 10, 11. And the 2 here is 12, 13. So unless I'm wrong, Gretchen, I'm seeing 13 points for you on bands.
Wow.
Does that sound right?
You are correct in that.
And Leona, what do you have for bands?
I have. They don't exponential.
No, those
1,
3 are
2,
worth 5
3.
points.
Just so these are worth 3 points.
Those 3 are worth 5.
5 plus this 2.
This 2 is worth 2, so you're up to 7.
And this 2 right here.
Is 8, 9.
9.
All right. So if we look at our token score.
Oh, it's because you got those 3. You had
I had
2
rows of
3
3,
brand.
and then I had this crazy square
Wow.
over here.
Yeah.
Which let me go nuts. I have 21 on tokens. It's not going to matter. Gretchen has 22 on tokens. Leona comes in at 19, still very
Okay.
respectable on tokens. However, That leaves me with 56 points total.
Wow.
Leona, it gives you 36,
Something
40,
like
45 points
40,
total.
yeah.
And Gretchen kicked our butt at 62. Which, Gretchen, that's a really high score in a 3-player game. Well done.
Wow.
I soaked it up yesterday.
You did.
And then I brought my A game because I am secretly, despite the sparkle and whimsy Dave would have you believe during painting Happy Little Minis, I am the evil Overlord.
Well, you win the title of Overlord.
That's awesome.
As you can see, pretty simple game. Something you can play this with your kids. You can play this with your non-gamer spouse or friend. And if you want things to get a little bit more interesting, we have a couple ways to do that. One is boss cards. Now, the boss cards, if we highlight some of these, Leona, give you a hidden score. That's the crown. And they sort of you keep these flipped over and hidden, and at the end of the game you can reveal that to show, aha, I also got points for doing this, and that would affect the final score. Or during the game you might decide, I really need to use this boss's reveal power. I'm going to flip them over. For Croak here, his reveal power is he can rearrange tiles around one of his dungeons. They each have unique tile. These aren't the finals. The final versions of these are a little bit different, but it gives you a sense of how the boss cards play.
Yeah.
We also have all these different terrain types. So there's castles. There's trying to find the deserts. Come on now, don't be like this. There we go. There's deserts. All of these are scored in unique ways. Cloud islands. And every game you're able to bring out a set of 5 terrain tiles, and there's a volcanoes, and you play with the dungeon entrances. So every game can be a different combination of terrain tiles. Volcanoes blow up the tokens around them, but are worth a lot of points.
Wow.
Islands don't like to have other tile types on the board, so they start with a very high score, but then that score will drop if you have other tile types. Summoning circles let you manipulate your tokens when you draft them. Deserts are kind of like forests and camps, but they have to be connected. So, like if all these forests over here that Gretchen had built had been deserts, this is hard to read, but that would have been worth 20 points.
Whoa.
Deserts are powerful if they're connected. And then these are castles which benefit more from having their matching monster on them. So they like vampires to be on them, and they're worth more. Not enough variety for you. We also have what are called command cards, and all this ships with the retail version of the game. Command cards are essentially when you put together certain arrangements of the same tile type, like this 3 in a row of the camps I have over here, or this square of camps. It allows you to use these command cards to do powerful and nefarious actions to your other people at the table. So you can move their tiles around, or destroy one of their tiles and make them immediately draft another one, or you can even swap tiles with them. And the command cards take the game up a whole nother level. So if you're a player looking for more cross-table interaction, the command cards turn it into a real cutthroat version of what you've seen here.
That's awesome. The additions with the extra little tiles definitely add a lot of replayability to the game, because then you can kind of switch out depending on even who you're playing with. If there's a more aggressive card, I feel like if you have more aggressive players, that could be a really fun way to change up the style of the game.
Or you can say like, hey, it would be really fun to play with this combination of them and put those in there.
Yeah, this is great. So for those of you who are watching, this is Overlord by Brotherwise Games. And this game is on, or just finished on Kickstarter, but will be hitting retail in October. So make sure that you ask your friendly local game store about this game and check out the Kickstarter so you can see different aspects, different closer up of the art and stuff like that. So, but thank you, Chris, for coming on and showing us this game. Is there anything else you wanted to kind of highlight about Overlord?
No, we put a lot of love in the game. It's got a game trays insert. There's a tile tower that Broken Token produced for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's you can kind of see the art there right behind me. That's the box of the little tile tower. That's just a prototype box, but we really like this one. The Kickstarter had a retailer pledge option, so some retailers didn't have the limited edition pack that came with it for the Kickstarter. So just call around and support your local retailer.
Yeah, definitely. And as you saw, like, it was very easy to play. It's kind of nice that you can pick it up in almost one game and then really start to delve into the fun of it. So thank you for Chris for coming on and showing us this game. Really do appreciate
one thing
it.
I should mention, it's not showing here, but on the other side of the boards that come with the game is a 4x4 grid. So it's a double-sided board. So if you're looking to play a longer game, if that felt a little bit quick for you, that it's available to go another 4 rounds. So really, we tried to pack as much into that box as we could. And there's 10 bosses that ship with the box of these boss cards.
Okay.
There's tons of fun stuff in there.
That's awesome. Little hidden treasures for
little touches.
Your Overlord mastery plan.
Yeah. Gretchen, we got that. Well done.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gretchen did an amazing job.
Gretchen murdered us. That's the way I would put it.
Her Overlord,
secretly an Overlord. I've been preparing.
That's amazing. That is awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and those of you who are asking questions. And if you're watching this after it's live, make sure you comment below and let us know if you're interested in seeing this game or interested in seeing more titles from Brotherwise. So be sure to ask your friendly local game store about this in October, and stay tuned. Follow us all on social media, Game Trade Media, and also Brotherwise Games, so you can keep up to date with when this is shipping and stuff like that. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.